what's happening? Is Big KBs. I think this shit too hot. Every first video I record for the day, I always gotta fix this shit. But what's going on? You already see the Nipsey piece. We need to talk. It's academic session we need to talk about. I ain't gonna waste too much of your time. Let's scrap hype all day, but let's get into it. So, Akademiks calls Nipsey Hussle a gangbanger who died like a gangbanger. So let's talk about this. Now, first of all, before I really get into this, I feel like sometimes, and again, you do have points, which I know a lot of people like to sit there and say Akademiks doesn't have points, but he does have points. I will say this though. I feel like sometimes you go somewhere else and you lose the plot. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I understand. The point he was trying to make was basically he was posting some videos. I think, I don't know if he posted something dealing with a situation that happened at Nipsey Hussle's Marathon Burger, but basically people in the comments were like, oh, how come you don't post like good stuff? Like, I believe they did a Nipsey Hussle square and they wanted him to post that. Now, I do believe, and listen, this is not just every platform. You know, sometimes we do sensationalize the lit stuff or even the bad stuff with rappers going against rappers, shootings and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of it as well. I'm not going to act like I'm like holier than thou. We talk about some of these situations, this and that and this, you know, and everything that's going on. Well, yes, I do feel like at times we do have to post some good things. Like I did a video when Jermaine Dupri said that Nipsey Hussle was like a modern day Jesus. Now, again, if you agree or disagree, we can have the discussion. Again, I'll probably link that video at the end of this video. Again, that's for your interpretation. And this is what I have to talk about, because even though Akademiks does have like points, I feel like, well, first of all, sometimes when that nigga's talking with the Hennessy or the drink in his cup, it's like, nigga, you're drunk. So that's number one. And then also it's like, I feel like sometimes he just overdoes his point and then he just rambles. And I feel like that's his little issue. So boom. So basically, as he was doing his little live stream, and again, yeah, I sit there and watched the full live stream. No, I seen the clip of the part when he was talking about the Nipsey Hussle situation. Well, basically, he was insinuating that, you know, Nipsey, you know, he feels bad for the family and he was a decent guy. He was entrepreneurship, trying to better his community and shit. But he was a gang member. We shouldn't treat him like Jesus or an angel. Now, first of all, I don't know what niggas he was talking to. Now, the people that love him on the West Coast, hey, that's the West Coast gang. You got to understand, like, hey, they probably seen the come up. It's different from us, like, being on the internet and watching this shit rather than you see the come up. So they might have a more deep reverence for that nigga. That's what you got to understand. Just like you say no nigga can change your mind, you can be mad at the West Coast niggas for not wanting to change their mind.
Post about the square. Now, I just want to put this out there flat out and straight for all the people who love Nipsey. Y'all gonna stop act like that man is Jesus. That nigga was a straight up gangbanger who lived a gangbanger and died a gangbanger. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say. So this idea that y'all want me to sanitize this nigga to be Jesus, the nigga lived a gangbanger, he died a gangbanger. Straight up and down. I don't care what y'all niggas said. So this idea where you're like, yo, just post the great things about him. I get he's passed away, and I have all the sympathy and empathy for his entire family, and I think he's a great man. But what y'all won't do is recreate King Von as Jesus and then recreate goddamn Nipsey Hussle as an angel. He's not. Nipsey Hussle walked around as a 60 Crip. He operated as such, and when it came time for an incident that unfortunately went so wrong, he stood on being a 60 Crip. We're going to keep it 100. This idea of trying to paint media personalities and media outlets as, no, why don't you just celebrate him? Cut it out. Cut it out. I want to put that out there unequivocally. Nipsey didn't earn this name by just being a black entrepreneur. He was a nigga from the neighborhood. That's why it's neighborhood Nip. It's not just it's not Mr. Rogers from around the way. He was a neighborhood Crip. Yes, he was an entrepreneur. Yes, he helped his community. But let's not sanitize this guy's legacy to act like people are trying to demonize him. The man walked around and he died gangbanging. Straight up. Me posting anything about how he carried himself is not me making him look no way. This is how he carried himself. You guys are the same dick riders that when he sat there and he slapped that nigga at BET Awards, y'all said that was the realest nigga alive.
At this point, y'all at a stalemate. You just gotta understand, hey, y'all niggas is talking two different languages, and you gotta keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But this is my thing. First of all, comparing him and what's my nigga name? King Von is two different things. Yes, is they gang members? Yes. Now again, I don't know what Nipsey was doing. I don't know if that nigga got bodies, whatever. King Von, we knew what type of time he was on, and it's well documented. Niggas was paying attention to into what Chicago niggas had going on since like 2012. Like we knew what was going on with them brothers. Okay. I'm not putting them niggas both in the same light, and no shade, because again, R.I.P. Von as well. My condolences to his family and friends. I don't know what niggas was championing him. Like, you know, Nipsey, yeah, he went to his block and gave out 100K. You know, respectable. You know, I'm pretty sure them niggas love you. Again, like I said. But Nipsey was over here trying to preach entrepreneurship, doing like foundations and, you know, having his store on the block, which again wasn't the best place. I get it. It wasn't the best place to have his store over there, but at least trying to bring business to the hood, which I did appreciate. He tried, and I think that is the difference between with King Von. King Von didn't have stuff set up like that. At least Nipsey, he tried. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into the angelic aspect you were talking about. Yes, I'm not sitting here saying these niggas are saints. But like I said just a minute ago, like this nigga tried to better himself. He wanted to better his community. And I gotta respect that. I can champion somebody and a movement that they are trying to establish and promote without liking every aspect of the person. And it's like how people pick and choose or compartmentalize. Like for Akademiks, he loved Donald Trump. He loved that nigga. Now again, if I sat down with Akademiks, I'm like, do you agree with everything that nigga doing? Akademiks would probably say no, he doesn't agree with everything he doing. But overall, you might fuck with that nigga. So you picking and choosing. Just like certain niggas is picking and choosing with the Nipsey shit and even King Von. I don't know why you brought up King Von. That's where your argument for me, I was like, okay, no, you should have just kept this on Nipsey. If you just kept this on Nipsey, I'll be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. Adding, why are these niggas? I'm like, I don't know what niggas are saying, and no shade again. King Von is angelic. You will have to show me that, because I was just like, excuse me? But anyways, besides all that, I could appreciate that. Again, I never met the man, but I have the nigga on my pendant just for the aspect of, again, the marathon continues, just preaching entrepreneurship and just hustle, motivation, like trying to get to it, like that good aspects that he did bring up. Don't get me wrong, he was on some hood nigga shit. I'm not gonna disagree with you there, but we can champion that, and I feel like you should honor him because he felt the realest, at least, and he showed, like, again, if you were paying attention, you seen the come up, like the strive for greatness to the point like he got the critical acclaim or success that he got or the recognition he got. You could respect, like, yo, he's been doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? So you had to respect it. This is where I was looking at him. Now, again, yes, Nipsey was a Crip. We're not going to act like Nipsey wasn't a Crip. Yes, he was a hood nigga. We're not going to act like that. And yes, he came up, probably did some, like, I guess, shit that wasn't great for the community. But still, when he got to a certain level where he could give back and try to change the narrative and do good, he did that. And I feel like as much as, yes, niggas champion him, we champion him for a reason. Because he was trying to do better. And I feel like Akademiks to have this rhetoric, which, again, I can see his point. I feel like he's losing the plot. And this is the thing. We are not championing Nipsey to say he's angelic. We're not doing that. I don't know who the fuck told you that. We're not saying that. We're just championing Nipsey because at least in the latter half of his life, he was representing something that was good. And entrepreneurship, hustle, motivate, all this other activities he was on, we were championing that. Because, again, that's good stuff. I'm not going to come over here because he compared him like he's not on some Mr. Rogers type shit. Nigga, no nigga is perfect. Them niggas grew up in suburbia. Sadly, they didn't have certain struggles and shit we had. And again, I'm not going to come and say Nipsey in early life or whatever wasn't on no bullshit. But I can't sit here and be like the only niggas we should champion like that is the clean cut nigga. We not fucking doing that, bro. There's always exception to the rules. As a lot of people like to say there isn't, but there is exception to the rules. This is where I feel like sometimes he be tweaking too much. He brought up the fucking situation with, I believe the man was Eric Holder, and how he basically said Nipsey died like a, gang member. And it's like, well, this is the thing. Sadly, I wasn't there. I know Akademiks wasn't there. We didn't hear the conversation he had with Eric Holder. And yes, we get the aspect of Nipsey like, hey, listen, you told on them brothers. I can't be seen talking to you like that. Woo, woo, woo. It was what it was. I don't think that again, Nipsey might have been a little bit more disrespectful. We don't know. I don't think that was the thing that really set bro off to the point like, oh, I got to unalive dude. Because if that's the case, that boy is tender. He a sucker. That's number one. But also number two, I feel like probably been plying on Nip. Probably been one. And then that might have been the final straw. Or maybe he's like, oh, for real. Just because I told on people, you think I'm soft or whatever. And maybe that was it. Also, the store was on Crenshaw and Sloss. Like, we're not, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, shit could happen over there. Like, yes, Nipsey from over there, but shit can happen over there. We're not all Teflon. That's only in the movies with the Matrix when you doing the dodges and shit. We're not all that. You know what I'm saying? So, again, and sometimes niggas get caught up in some situations. And you even said it was a terrible situation. I just don't understand, not necessarily vitriol, but like what this conversation was about and what we were trying to prove. Because we all remember the discourse beforehand, before Nipsey passed. Like, he had some things to say about you. I believe Karen Civil got y'all talking and y'all found like some level of understanding. But even still, with that being said, I just don't necessarily understand what was the point of this. To be fair, as media in general, and don't just put this on academic, we should be posting some of the better things or outcomes that happen with artists. We should. Like with Nipsey having the burger spot and this and that and that and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We should. It doesn't hurt to throw up a post up here and there. But even still, I feel like you just insinuating that everybody, and again, some niggas love him. And like I said, so it's different. But like, no nigga came out to say that nigga was like, a saint. No nigga said that. I never heard that out of no nigga mouth. I don't know who you talking to. He might have stands, diehard stands, or like I said, family members or whatever, but that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different. If you're talking to people that have fair and logical reasoning, they wouldn't say he's a saint, but certain things he stood for, yeah, we should champion that. More people should preach that. And I feel like that's why he's championed. As well as just a motherfucker, just what he stood for in general. Because that's hip-hop. That's the hip-hop you like, don't it? You like the gangster niggas, don't it? But yeah, you gonna critique niggas that's gangster. Again. But even though he was gangster, he was trying to put positivity out there. Which I did. What's called respect. I did respect. So again, I just did not understand this. I really did not understand this, and it made no sense. Because I don't know what argument you were trying to have. Yes, he's not a saint. Let's not act like if we go in the Bible, some of these niggas Jesus saved was all holier than thou. No. Some of them was on some bullshit. And that's why I just look at certain niggas that just be talking crooked sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck is your point? Is you just talking to talk, or you really got something to say? Because it sounded like a whole lot of gibberish bro was talking about. And y'all know, hey, Ak is Ak. Hey, listen, I say I'm one of his sons when it comes to like this commentary shit on hip-hop. I'm under his tree. But even I had to look at that bullshit like, nigga, what the fuck is you spouting? What the fuck is you saying? Me personally, that's how I feel, and this is my opinion. If the nigga want to get mad at the nigga's opinion, go ahead then. You go hoot and holler all the fuck you want. But besides all that, that's really all I gotta say. It makes no sense. Like I said, champion Nip always just hustle, motivation, stay in your own way, stay in your own path, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? We need more people to speak on some shit like that. And like I said, I can't wait. I've been hearing some music is bubbling. We might get a posthumous album. I can't wait for that. You heard me? So I'm sitting here waiting. Akademiks, I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. You was on some bullshit. Let's keep it a buck. Henny Demics probably didn't remember what the fuck you said when you woke up. Shit, I'm like there sometimes when I record some of these videos. But yeah, that's really all I had to say about the topic. But what do y'all think? Comments down below. Links in the description. Hype, It's your friendly neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Deadweiler doing this thing. My name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe. You trying to hit a little bit more to your me. And I'm gone. Slimes and peace, y'all, gang. Aye.